everybody. So that's the Q&A answers. I thought, why do it at home when it's such a lovely day, although I am being blinded by the sun at the moment. But it's lovely out, and I thought, why not do it here? So let's get started. Hasbeen95 asks, what is the most awkward situation you have ever been in while riding the Sinnis? Jesse. That's an easy one. If you watch the video 6:45 AM, when I was looking in that mirror talking about action cameras, and I turned around and there was like a lorry, a car, a bike. It was ridiculous. I felt so awkward at that point. That is probably the most awkward moment. Generally I don't feel awkward, but that moment I was just like, okay, they were stood there the whole time I was talking to myself in the mirror. They probably didn't realise I had a camera, which means they thought I was just talking to myself in the mirror, and that, yeah, you can tell from the video, I left quite quickly. Okay, next question is from Jabberwocky. We all love your beach walks. Will you definitely be doing more of them? P.S. You are our Discovery Channel. Yeah, definitely. I know you guys really love them. A few people haven't, but you know, the beach, to be honest, is my weakest point when it comes to nature, and that's one of the reasons I'm doing it, because I'm learning as I go. I mean, I have a good knowledge of it, but there's lots of stuff I don't know, and as I've studied lots of the other things, and I've kind of not ignored the beach. I've always been interested, but I've never gone as in depth as I have with other things, and I want to do that. I'm not only going to do beach walks. I've got a plan, for instance, later on this summer I'm going to be going to look for some very, very pretty little beetles in quite a nice place, and it'll be interesting to ride down there and have a little look around. There's adders and all sorts of other animals there, so yeah, it'll be an interesting thing to go down there and have a look. So as I say, I'm not changing my channel. I'm not going to become a non-motor vlogging channel or anything like that. I'll still be doing the motor vlogs as usual, but I think it'd be nice to, you know, mix in other stuff, because I'm not set in stone, because some people have this opinion that, you know, motor vloggers can only do motor vlogging videos. If you're not on a bike, you shouldn't be doing it. That's not what it's about. My channel is about what I want to talk about, what I'm interested in, teaching people stuff, you know, just videos that surround the things that I'm interested in. If you don't like them, then don't watch them, but it would seem that lots of people do enjoy them, and you know, it's a good thing. Okay, the next question is from Traz1123. Spicy, you love scouring the beach and love the ocean, so my question is, if you could choose to be any aquatic creature, what would you be and why? I'll be a whale. They're amazing things, and they get to just cruise the ocean, see the deep parts, and they can do it all naturally. Unfortunately, obviously, the risk of that is I'm going to get harpooned by the Japanese doing, you know, whale research. Not eating, no, whale research. It still goes on, whaling, and it's not good, and I don't like it. If you want to help anyone with in that regard, there is a organisation called Sea Shepherd who are doing more than anyone to try and, you know, get a law into the seas to stop people doing these things, because it's just not on. What sort of whale? I wouldn't go for a blue whale. I'm fed up of being big. Let's go for a humpback. It's alright, there's a couple of meadow pipits flying around distracting me. Tristan Morgan says, how did you and Jake meet for the first time? I think I have explained this one before a couple of times, but basically we both had about the same amount of subs, about 1,000. I watched his channel and I thought he was brilliant. And I gave him a little shout out in one of my videos. The same video I gave the first shout to Ginger Biker, actually, interesting enough. I made quite a lot of friends in the same sort of time that they're my closest friends that I've made through vlogging, which I wouldn't even necessarily just call them vlogging friends, they're just friends. And he then, in reply to that in another video, he basically gave me a shout back and then talked a little back. So I talked about how crappy work and stuff was at the time, and he gave me some advice through a video, and then sort of we got talking backwards and forwards, we were talking on Skype, and since then we've just, you know, become very good friends. And we used to talk a couple of times a week, but we've now got very busy, so we now try and catch each other probably once a week, sometimes once a fortnight. Sometimes I'm the one that's not around, of course, because, you know, Jake with having a job now, you know, the lazy fucker sits home doing nothing. I'm joking, of course he isn't doing nothing. But where I'm at work and stuff and fitting everything else in, I don't always have as much time to talk to him. We end up talking about the most random shit. We're not just talking about vlogging stuff. I mean, sometimes we talk about vlogging stuff, but more often than not, we're just not talking about that. We're just talking our friends would. Jake Jenkins, what is the most heartwarming, best thing you've been told by a viewer? That's hard to say. You guys are amazing. I really do appreciate people sending me messages to just say sort of things like, I don't need you to reply, but I just wanted to let you know that watching your videos has inspired me to do this, whether it's going to do vlogging or getting a bike, or just through one of my videos maybe that I've sort of convinced them that they should go and do something and it's turned out good for them. And And then they'll send me a message later on down the line saying, yeah, I've got a bike now, I'm really enjoying myself, thanks very much for the advice you gave me, blah, blah, blah. Just those sorts of things are really just nice to know that I've been able to help someone through the videos that I make, because I enjoy making them, the people enjoy watching them, but if there's more than that, if it changes your life somehow and for the better, then how awesome is that? So it's hard to put it down to a one thing someone said, but it's just the general sort of, the nice feedback I get. Mr. Origona, is that it? 230. Do you reckon you make at least minimum wage from vlogging, considering time spent editing, etc.? No, not even close. I probably do as many hours in my vlogging and stuff as I do normal work, maybe slightly less, and we're not even a quarter of the way. Really, I don't do this YouTube stuff for money. It has allowed me to feel a bit more comfortable having some extra time off work, which has helped my knee to recover a bit more, and it really is doing so much better since I've done that. And having a little bit of extra money coming in, you know, that just helps boost what I've got, just makes things a lot easier for me, and it makes things more enjoyable. And I also have more free time to make the videos. I mean, I think you've noticed that since I said I've gone on to these shorter hours, I've really been getting videos out there. I'm still having to work a lot. I mean, I work just as much as I was before. I don't have extra free time because I'm just putting my extra time into vlogging and making the videos and editing them and researching and all those sorts of things. So yeah, basically, no, I'm not making minimum wage from it. Nitro Nutter asks, what camera and lens do you use? Not the drift goes. Well, if you're referring to the video camera, and I don't think you are, it's a Panasonic HX WA3 camcorder, that's what this has been filmed on. As for my normal photography equipment, I'm now going to cut back to home where I'm actually going to show you it all. Okay, so the camera equipment, we've got a Canon 1D Mark IIN, as you can see down there. That's got a 28-80 lens on it, which is a very cheap lens actually. It's from a Canon 50E, which is an old film camera, but it works perfectly with this. And it just goes to show you don't have to spend a huge amount on lenses. You can use older lenses. You don't have to spend £600 on a lens like that. This one was a bit more expensive though. That is a 105mm Sigma macro lens, fixed focal length. Very, very good lens. The next lens is the one that I use for bird stuff and more distant stuff. That's a 50 to 500 Sigma, also known as the Bigma. And then we've got a custom diffuser that I made on my flash, which is the 430EX, I believe. Yeah, 430EX, with a trigger made by Hanau or someone. It works, it's a good little trigger. And that's the other part of the trigger. So that's the general photography stuff that I use. Obviously, it starts at 28mm and ends at 500, and I have a crossover in the middle, with that being 50 and that ending at 80, and then that one's 105, which is obviously just for macro stuff. So that generally gets me everything I need it to do. I would like a wider angle lens, and I would like possibly another macro lens, but they're so expensive that I just make do with what I've got. So there you go, Mr. Nitro Nutter. That's what I use. Next question comes from DJ Doritos 33. Are you going to plan a meet in the future? Well, if you don't know, and a lot of people have asked me this a lot lately, because I think as the new year comes up and everyone's thinking of summer, I've done a meet once a year for the past 2 years, a big meet. Now, this year's, I'm planning on doing it, but I've got some hesitations. Basically, the numbers are going to be a lot bigger than they were. I mean, we had like 50, 40 something bikes last time, and both times we've done it, we could have had up to 70. But the weather's put some people off because they've come from a long distance. I mean, the last one we had some people come from Birmingham, Devon, all sorts of places all over the country. So yes, I am kind of planning on doing one this year, but I think I'm going to have to change the way I do it. I don't think we're going to be able to go on a group ride out because it is a nightmare around here. I think the best solution is going to be go somewhere, meet there, and then maybe people can go off in groups and then come back and do little rides somewhere. It's just the logistics of it. So I've got to look into the logistics of it. There is a chance that it won't happen. I'll warn you of that now. But I would like it to happen. But it's getting a lot of bikes together. You can cause an awful lot of trouble, as you saw with Tesco's last time. Oh god, we nearly had the police on us. We got kicked out of Tesco's. The security guard there still gives me dirty looks. But yeah, I'll try. JDMX UK. What is your favourite or coolest military item? Ammo. Again, I'm going to have to pop back home now and show you that, because it's going to cost me loads of fuel popping back each time. Okay, then this is the ammo collection, starting with a 30mm shell on the mirror into the 50 cals, and then down through various rifle rounds. As you can see, these aren't in any particular order, it's just height basically. I know they're not in caliber order. Then we get down to the pistol rounds. Obviously we've got 22 in the middle there, 32s, 45s, 38s, 44s. One of the hardest ones to get a hold of was this one here, which is a 50 Action Express. If you don't know what that is, that's the Desert Eagle bullet. Slug and double up buck. And we got a shell from a chain-fed grenade launcher. There's an M1 clip. Now, as you know from the film Saving Private Ryan, every time they ran out of bullets, it went ting! You know that noise? What a great idea. I'm out of bullets, everyone. Obviously, there's the grenade from the grenade video. That isn't actually a real grenade, it's a reproduction. We've got an AR clip, which is full. It's got 30 rounds in it. There's a chain at the back, which I got when I was quite young. Those tips on there are not real. And while I'm here, I'll take you through the rest of the random shit shelf. Obviously, this is an airsofting Sig Sauer P226. Doesn't actually really work anymore, but I'm keeping it because I've had it since I was a kid. We have Defrog. This dude, I haven't got a name for him yet, so let's name him. These are my coasters. These are actually hard drive discs. Obviously, the hands from the zombie video. We got a cow's toe there. Got the flag from the meat. It's a hat I was sent from a motovlogger. I don't think he even vlogs anymore. I think it was Raiden something. He's from Minnesota. Obviously here is the sea mouse in the alcohol. It's actually in vodka and that's surviving perfectly well. This is a very low concentration of alcohol, so this mantis shrimp is not doing quite so well, but it's okay. Then go to the bottom shelf, more random shit. This is the cup from the English tea video. This is from Betty's rear gear linkage, which just makes me laugh because it's like, oh my god! This is the motovlogging little corner. Obviously you'll know where that came from. We've got Betty's old foot pegs, brake lever, cam chain, Betty's key, various stones from the early videos if you remember these, bits of wood. This is all sort of motovlogging related stuff that I've collected. More random shite. That bottle back there is actually Jack Daniels, and I found it in the beach with Jack Daniels in it. That is a Cobra in a bottle. I don't like that. I was given it by someone who went to Thailand and brought it back, and they were going to bin it, and I was like, well, I hate the thing because it means they killed a snake for it, but I've still got it. I don't like it. This thing isn't anything in particular. It's pieces of an XR2 gearbox, pieces of machining stuff. Just when I was a kid, I stuck it all together, and I found it about 3 weeks ago in a cupboard, and I was just like, what the fuck? Oh yeah, I remember this thing. And then there's the random beach shit and other bits and pieces. This bone is actually from that horse. I kept one of them. Interestingly, someone has actually dug that horse up now. They destroyed most of it. There's bits of rib everywhere. They took the bones away, and they have identified it as a giant elk from the last ice age, which is completely fucking wrong. I mean, even the topography could tell you that 8,000 years ago, that wasn't really a beach. But oh well, I'll let them discover that for themselves because they sent it to a museum to get identified. There you go, a fossilised urchin. This is one of my favourites. This here is a fossilised sea sponge I found when I was a child. I took it to a museum and they identified it as a fossilised sea sponge, and it's about 180 million years old. So it's one of the first things I found when I used to look on the beach, and I've still got it today. So yeah, basically that is my shelf of random shit you may have heard of before. So there you go, that's that. Next question comes from Azanowers. How long is your hair in miles? It is 0.0000426 miles long. Heejit there, is that it? Spicy, if you could afford a dirt bike, would you buy it to do some real green laning? Or would you buy a better dual sport? If I had the money to go and buy an off-road bike, I would quite like to do that. I'd probably get a two-stroke, and this is one of the questions I've had is two-stroke, full-stroke. I've gone over this before, but I personally believe that two-stroke is much better suited to off-roading. If I had money come up that would allow me to buy it, I wouldn't go straight to getting an off-road bike instead of replacing my bike. I would probably do my licence and go for a bigger bike. Now I'm getting blinded by this sun. I'm going to keep my glasses on. I hope the face recognition thing can still pick me up without my eyes. Right, next one comes from DJ K Swift. What's your hopes and plans for 2014? Are you going to be making a gaming channel this year? Right, the gaming channel idea, I probably am not going to bother doing. Ow, my knee just went out. Because I've realised I haven't got the time to do it. I don't have enough time to play games that isn't do everything else, and I think that this side of stuff would suffer if I did start doing a gaming channel. Plus I need all the equipment to do it. And the other problem, of course, is that now everyone's on Xbox One, PS4. I've only got a 360 and I'm not planning to buy an Xbox One. It's going to awful lot of money for something that wouldn't really gain me much. I'm currently playing Battlefield 4 a bit, and as far as I'm concerned, it's perfectly good. I'm sure if I played the Xbox One, I'd probably be like, oh my god, look, it's like the old days when everything's shit, and now this looks so much better, so I just won't play it, and then I'll never know. I don't know how this is supposed to be pronounced, so I'm going to go with Dr. Ian KM. Do you ever want to go on any longer trips, Exmoor, Wales, etc.? Do you have any interest in multi-day motovlog adventures? As you can see on the screen, he goes on, yeah, basically multi-day vlogs, sort of like going off somewhere. It would probably involve camping, and I'm not into camping. Plus, carrying all that much stuff is just annoying, as is my hair and my face, so I'm going to put my glasses off again. So yeah, I'm not into camping, I haven't got the money to stay in hotels, and that's just stupid anyway. Andy Terra asked me, how many times do you roughly use your bike per week? Well, if you mean how many times do I use it every day? Yes, I use it every single day. How many times a day? Well, that depends. If I'm working, then I'll normally go to work, from work. Depending on what I'm working, I might have to go off somewhere else and do some other bits and pieces after work, then come back home. On my days off, I can be out the whole day on the bike, and then I'll come home and edit in the evening. So, every single day. The only days that I wouldn't ride my bike, generally, is when I'm sick, and I really don't feel like riding. Otherwise, every single day. And I have done that for years. Teen Rider asks, I'm a new motovlogger, what did you do to get where you are today? Thanks. I think he means like amount of subs and stuff. I've explained this one before again, but I will explain it again. It's hard work. You just have to keep making videos that people enjoy watching. There's nothing more to it than that. There's no secret formula. There's no like, you know, do X, Y and Z and you'll have 1,000 subs by the end of the week. It doesn't work like that. It's complete luck in a way as well. But you've got to make videos that people enjoy watching, that they don't find boring, that have got a wide enough variety of things to talk about that keep people interested. And it can be tricky, but in my mind, I have so much stuff going on and think about so many different things that I generally am just like, yeah, I'm gonna talk about that. Sometimes I won't know what I'm talking about when I go out to do a vlog, sometimes I will. It's just whatever happens in your brain. It's down to you, that's the point. It's you that does it. It's your thoughts, your speaking, your editing work, all of that, which is going to either bring success or not so much success. I've just realised that my audio recorder with this microphone hasn't been fucking working because it turned itself off, so I'm hoping the audio from this is going to be okay. Bastards. Two Wheels Daily asks, do you own any pets? I'm a herpetologist, is that? And I find some of your beach videos very interesting. I currently breed over 100 different species of reptile. Now, my opinion on pets is a bit different to a lot of people. I don't really like the idea of animals being kept in a place that they weren't naturally supposed to be there. There's no insult here or anything. Obviously, people keep lots of different animals. I have cats. That's basically what we have. Now, the reason I allow myself to have cats and feel okay with it is because they literally come and go as they please. If they wanted to fuck off, they could fuck off. Something in a cage or a tank hasn't got that option. I'm not saying people are wrong for doing it. It's just personally I wouldn't do it myself. Obviously, if people look after them properly, and I'm sure you are, the animals can live long and happy lives, and obviously they don't know any different, so they're not going to be unhappy in that situation necessarily. But it's just, I don't know, it's just me, so I'm a bit weird like that. DeRush asks, if you had unlimited cash, what vehicle, air or ground, would you choose to have fun with and use everyday travel? I'm no helicopter for everyday travel. I honestly, if I had the money to do something like that, I'd want to get a submersible that can go to the bottom of the sea. I know I couldn't use it every day unless I work down there, so that'll be my everyday travel to work at the bottom of the sea. But honestly, I would so much rather to go to the bottom of the sea than go into space. You go to the moon, okay, it's the moon. You go to the bottom of the sea and you see life that no one else has ever seen before. You see things that no one's ever seen before. It's the biggest mysteries down there really for us. We can see all that stuff. It's the stuff in that we don't really know about. And that's why I'd love to have a submersible to go down there. It surprises me how little money is spent into research into the sea, because there's so many things down there that could help us, like cures for, for cancer and different drugs and stuff. It really would be more advantageous for us to go down than it is for us to go up. And it's probably cheaper to go down than it is to go up. So I don't know why they don't do that. Super Reaper with the most scary bloody avatar I've ever seen. Are you gay? I get asked this not so many times. I've been asked this a few times. I've talked about Mrs. Spice, there might be a clue. No, I'm not gay. I don't know, I've had this a lot of the time. Throughout my videos I've been asked every now and then gay. I've been asked out for drinks, I've been asked out on dates. No, I am not gay. I have no problem with homosexuality. That's another question I have, what's my view on it? I have no problem with it. Homosexuality, if you are truly homosexual, is not a choice. It's a difference in your brain. They've proved that by this point. And if someone wants to be gay, well, that's their choice. What they want to do between them and someone else in another room, on their own, if that makes them happy, then why can't they do it? And I'm sorry, I don't agree with anyone that disagrees with that using God as a reason, because that is just fucking retarded. If you're going to use the God argument, then why are some dolphins gay? Why are some bonobo chimps gay? God made them too. So, if you are gay, you're cool with me. Gay marriage should definitely be legal. Well, it is legal in the UK now, thankfully. And it always should have been. Because, you know what, gay people have taken a lot of stick in the past. And I know I sometimes use the expression gay, and I don't mean that as an insulting one. I should say that you know, the word gay is used for like, oh, that's gay. And it's not meant. I mean, when I say it, I don't think gay person, I just think of it as a word which means, like, it means happy, it means something that's like, oh, it's crap. And I probably shouldn't use it. I will try and help myself from doing it, because it might cause offence to some people. But as I say, gay people have to put up with so much stick throughout life. Why should they then not have the right to be married? Northern Motor asks, do you not think it's time for a Sports 125? Watch my videos. What do I do? If I was in a Sports 125, I couldn't do half of the stuff that I do. I wouldn't be able to go green laning. I wouldn't be able... And people say, I'm going back to that, oh, real green laning. What isn't real about the green laning that I was doing? I was going up some hills that I've seen some 400cc bikes have trouble getting up. I mean, admittedly, when I did it, it wasn't muddy, and when they did it, it was. But as I've said, the camera doesn't convey what you're actually doing. I mean, that's why Motor Trooper's videos are so amazing to me, because what he does looks insane. But when you know, because you record yourself, you'll know that those things that look like this steep fucking might as well be like that. It's just the way the cameras work. So I have done real green laning. And to answer your question about the sports bike, no, I don't like sports bikes because they're too limited. I like to be able to explore. I like the option that if I wanted to, if it was legal, I could just ride over this beach, ride wherever I want, go off-road. You can't really do that on a sports bike. Yeah, everyone is now going to say, Baron Von Grumble, blah, blah, blah. It cost him a lot of money to fix that bike, didn't it? It wasn't a good idea. They're not designed to do it. I want to be able to happily do it on a daily basis. So there you go, that's the Q&A done. Sorry, don't cry if I didn't answer your question. I had over 300 comments on that video, so choosing questions, you know, I had to choose ones people had voted up and just choose random ones basically. And also not choose ones which people have been asking me that I've answered again and again and again, and there are videos out there that's on the subject itself. I mean, some people have asked me to explain my crash in detail. There's a video called The Crash. People who've asked me about when I started riding bikes, watch the video The Bow. They're all out. In 2 years I've talked about most of the common questions you're going to ask me, so the answers are there. Plus, of course, the other thing is, which no one seems to do these days, read the description. Every time I get asked what bike I ride, what this is, what that is, it's been in the description this whole time. And obviously in there also you'll find the code for action cameras to get 10% off. Something else I want to mention quick before I go. T-shirts, I was talking about getting them done. I'm still working on that. It isn't as easy as you think to get it arranged, but I am working on that. However, stickers may be happening soon. That's all I'm saying. You'll find out more. So I hope the audio's okay, otherwise I'm going to have to re-record this. In which case there's no point in me saying this, because the audio will be okay. But if it's a bit shitty, I apologise, because that fucking thing didn't record. So I'll catch you next time. Well, I basically explained to them why what they were doing was very dangerous, and fair play to them, they did actually listen, and they came out, and I said to them, go and tell your parents what you've been doing. So I hope they did, and hopefully their parents will realise how dangerous it was and rip their little fucking heads off.